My fiancé ran off with another man. On our wedding day. Right when the MC asked the all-important question. She said I don't. Then she turned around, took the other man's hand, and started to leave without a single glance back. I didn't stop her from running off to her so-called happiness. Instead, I pulled out a calculator. 0. 0, 0, 0. Since you're leaving, how about we settle the bill first, darling? ... October 1st. On this grand national holiday, I was getting married to my fiancé. Up on the stage she looked stunning in her pure white wedding dress. Even that faint, sad look on her face gave her a special, delicate charm. I was pretty satisfied with my bride. After all, isn't that what men work their whole lives for? Up until that point, the ceremony had gone perfectly. Until the MC asked the fateful question. Bride, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? I don't. The moment Ju Fifei said those words, the whole venue erupted in gasps. In an instant, every eye in the room turned to me. Like I'd just become the biggest joke of the day. To be honest, I was genuinely surprised. I never thought such a cheesy soap opera plot would happen to me. Are you sure about this, Ju Fifei? I wasn't angry, or any particular emotion really. After all, we'd only been set up by our parents in the first place. I'm sorry, Zhou Ming. I've made up my mind. Ju Fifei took off her veil with a guilty look on her face, then turned and walked off the stage. A guy was already waiting for her down there. He was wearing the exact same suit as me, his eyes full of joy and adoration. Hand in hand they walked briskly toward the exit of the banquet hall. Wait a second, please. Right then, I spoke up and called after them. Zhou Ming, what are you doing? Let me tell you, you can't force a relationship. I'll never love you for as long as I live. Ju Fifei stepped protectively in front of Jiang V. Jiang the was the guy she was leaving with. Ahem, don't get me wrong. I know you two are in a hurry, dying to run off to your happy ending. But we still have a bill to settle first. Once it's settled, you can go. I won't stop you. Deal? Ju Fifei frowned and nodded, confused. But I don't think we have any bills to settle. Patience. You'll see in a minute. I smiled mysteriously, then borrowed a calculator from the hotel staff. 0, 0, 0, 0. Look, us getting married was mutual, right? I said. Right. Ju Fifei nodded, but you're backing out now. Yeah. Ju Fifei mumbled, too guilty to look me in the eye. Hey, don't look like that. Even if this doesn't work out, we can keep things civil. I spoke generously, trying to calm her down. For some reason, seeing me so calm only made Ju Fifei feel more uneasy. She glanced back at Jiang the. They exchanged a look, then straightened their shoulders, resolute. In that moment, love gave them endless courage. Go on then, Ju Fifei said boldly. All right. Before we start, let me confirm one more time, Miss Ju Fifei, you're definitely calling off this wedding. Definitely. Good. I like a straightforward person. I gave her a thumbs up. Then my fingers flew across the calculator, punching in number after number. Nearly a full minute later. Equals 1,129,853 yuan and 25 cents. Miss Ju Fifei, before you leave, please pay me back 1,129,853 yuan. As the calculator's voice announcement finished, the whole venue went dead silent. All the guests stared at me in shock. Even Ju Fifei stood there with her mouth hanging open, stunned. Zhou Ming, are you out of your mind? Over $1 million? Why on earth would I pay you that? Ju Fifei shrieked, staring at my outstretched palm. I waved a hand and smiled. Don't get so worked up. Let me break it down for you. Fine. Go on. I'd love to hear how you justify asking for $1 million. Ju Fifei sounded confident. We'd met on a blind date after all. We hadn't dated very long. We'd been out to dinner a few times, and I'd bought her a couple of expensive bags, sure, but even all that couldn't add up to this much. Seeing Ju Fifei so calm, Jiang the relaxed too. He'd been terrified the second he heard I wanted over $1 million. It's 1,129,853 yuan and 20 cents. I made a point of emphasizing the exact number. All I got was an eye roll from Ju Fifei. I didn't mind. Like I said, even if the marriage falls through, we can keep things civil. Look, the wedding banquet. That costs money, right? Yeah. Gi Fifei glanced around the room and nodded hesitantly. I paid for all of it. Since you're backing out now, shouldn't you cover the loss? I said. Ju. Fifei glanced at Jiang Yi's handsome profile beside her, gritted her teeth, and said, fine. Next item. The wedding motorcade. The 8 cars you rode in this morning, 10,000 yuan total. Plus 200 yuan red envelope per car, that's 1,200. Should you cover that? Should. Groomsmen and bridesmaid outfits. My suit, your wedding dress, those cost money too, right? Also fine. Our wedding photos. I'm sure Mr. Jiang over there wouldn't want his girlfriend's intimate photos hanging on some other guy's wall, would he? We'll pay for those. This time, Jiang the spoke up, more eager than ever. Good. Then there's the 3 gold jewelry set. We'll return it. The bride price, 688,000 yuan. We'll give it back. So add it all up. That's the total, right? I talked so much my throat went dry. I couldn't help grabbing a drink off a nearby table, popping it open and chugging it down. Hey, it's not my money, might as well take the free drink. By the time we finished going through every item, I noticed Ji Fifei and Jiang Wei had gone pale. I didn't pay them any mind. Living in a fairy tale, thinking they're Snow White or something. Zhou Ming. Something wrong with the numbers? I played dumb. I knew exactly what Gu Fifei's family was like. Solidly middle class, nothing more. The 688,000 yuan bride price I'd given them, her mom had already used it to buy a house for her little brother. There was no way they had that kind of cash lying around. Even if they gave back the jewelry and everything, they'd still owe over 900,000. I can't come up with that much money. Gu Fifei mumbled, staring at her shoes, clearly in the wrong. What do you mean can't? Ask your boyfriend to pay. He's gonna marry you, right? Spending a little money is the least he can do. Besides, the venue's all set up right here. You two could just get married here instead. No, that's not how it is. Then how is it? He just graduated. He's just starting out. He doesn't have that kind of money. Zhu Fifei stammered. No money? I asked. No. Gu Fifei practically hung her head in shame. No money? Then what the hell are you even doing here? And here I thought you were some runaway Disney princess putting on a whole Prince Saves the Princess act. I even got ready to play the villain for you two, and now you're telling me you have no money? I slammed the soda can down on the floor. Zhu Fifei and Jiang Da both jumped. But then Zhu Fifei flew into a rage, pointing a finger at me and yelling, Zhou Ming, I can't believe you're like this. If I'd known, I never would have agreed to marry you. Did we get married though? One question, and Ji Fifei went silent. Alright, enough bullshit. I don't have time to stand here arguing with you. If my dad hadn't forced me into this wedding, someone like you wouldn't even be qualified to breathe the same air as me. I sounded thoroughly annoyed. Just then, Zhu Fifei's parents panicked. They rushed over to beg her to change her mind. But Zhu Fifei stood firm, holding Jiang Yi's hand, refusing to back down. My parents stood off to the side, faces thunderous, not saying a word. Suffice to say, Zhu Fifei's little stunt had humiliated them completely. If you ask me, they needed the humiliation. You don't learn a lesson until you lose face. Who sets their own son up like this? Lucky for me, I'd always played the field, secretaries, nurses, flight attendants, you name it. If I'd been some hopeless romantic, seeing your bride run off with another man, I'd be ready to throw myself off a building. A little while later, Zhu Fifei's parents pulled her back over to me. They'd clearly talked it over. As for Jiang De, he'd heard something he didn't like and was moping in the corner. I was curious how exactly they planned to pay me back over $1 million. What I never expected was that it wasn't just Zhu Fifei. Her whole family was full of wild ideas. Xiaozhou auntie wants to say sorry first. Fifei has really put you through all this trouble. Let's just pretend none of this happened today. You two go ahead and get married anyway. What do you say? When Zhu Fifei's mom finished speaking, I almost burst out laughing right there. Talk about wishful thinking. The abacus beads were practically flying off and hitting me in the face. Call off the wedding when they have money, get married when they don't. What am I, a credit card machine? Sorry, not a chance. The second I said that, the whole Jew family's faces fell. They clearly hadn't expected me to react that way. Zhou Ming, what more do you want? I'm already agreeing to marry you. Zhu Feifei was so angry her chest heaved. What do I want? What the hell do you take me for? Pay up and get out. I slammed my hand on the table, issuing my final ultimatum. It's a new era. We should have new ways of thinking. A used car isn't undrivable, sure. But when the previous owner still has the keys, who the hell would want that car? No way, Zhou Ming. I'm not paying a single cent of that million. Either you marry me or nothing. Zhu Feifei spoke with absolute conviction, like she'd just found my Achilles heel. After she finished, I could even see a thick streak of smugness in her eyes. Fine. Fine. That's how. She wants to play it, huh? I was so mad I laughed. She really thinks I've got no spine? I turned and yelled at one of the groomsmen still up on the stage. Cheng Jin, what the hell are you standing there for? Get over here now. Cheng Jin had been quietly fidgeting with his phone, about to start a live stream. With material this good dropping right in his lap, it'd be a crime not to milk it for followers. My yell made him jump. He nearly dropped his phone. Brother Ming, you called? Cheng Jin looked guilty. I gave him a sideways glance. I could see right through that little weasel. You were gonna use me as content, weren't you? Cheng Jin coughed awkwardly and looked away. Alright, cut the crap. Fire up your stream. I'll be your content today. Holy shit, for real? The second Cheng Jin heard I'd play along, he was over the moon. Everyone says friends are just there to use each other, but right now, Zhou Ming was his personal hero. You better hurry up. I'm not waiting around all day. On it, getting set up right now. Cheng Jin pulled a selfie stick out of nowhere, clipped his phone on, and fired up the live stream in seconds. While he got set up, I turned to a bewildered Zhu Feifei and smiled. Darling Feifei, have you heard of the new marriage law? The civil code has very clear rules about returning bride price payments. Did you forget? Just to make sure she remembered, I spelled it out for her. Sure enough. The second I finished, Zhu Feifei's face drained of color. Her parents went deathly pale too. Of course, Uncle Auntie, don't panic. I'm not gonna sue you. I'm too nice for that. I'd never force you to do something you don't want to. Ready, Brother Ming? Cheng Jin whispered from the side. I saw the camera was pointed right at me. In the span of 0.01 seconds, my entire expression shifted. In that instant, I transformed into the most devoted, lovesick puppy the world had ever seen. Heartbreak and devotion radiated off me like a physical thing. Cheng Jin wasn't just any groomsman, of course. He had over 3 million followers online. They called him the rich widow killer on the internet. The second he went live, droves of wealthy women flooded in, along with hordes of naive young guys looking for dating tips. But when they tuned in, they saw a stranger on screen, and one even better looking than Cheng Jin, at that. Figuring a guy this hot must be part of some new segment, they stuck around to see what was going on. And then I started crying. When they saw the tears rolling down my cheeks, all those wealthy women's hearts broke instantly. What's wrong? Why is this handsome guy crying? Oh honey, you're breaking my heart. Don't cry, Auntie's got you. Aunt, I'll buy you a Mercedes E300. Where'd this cute guy come from? Come here, let sister take care of you. Reading the comments flying by, I almost broke character and laughed. But for my 1 million yuan, I could hold it together. I spoke through my tears, voice heavy with grief. Sisters, my fiancé left me. She ran off with another man on our wedding day. Wait, what? The words left Zhu Feifei completely stunned. She was standing right there. She instinctively stepped forward to set the record straight. But Cheng Jin and the other groomsmen quickly dragged her away, smart enough to let me work my magic alone. Betrayal's always been the one thing people can't stand. The second I finished speaking, the stream blew up. Comments flooded the screen in seconds. Everyone was begging for the full story. I told them everything. And by the end of it, the viewers were furious. Fuck, how can someone be that shameless? Women like her deserve to rot. Sweetheart, listen to me. You'll find someone way better than her. I don't want anyone else. I only want my Fi. She's my one and only. Forever. I can't live without her like a fish can't live without water. From dawn till dusk, from mountains to study rooms, I'll wait as long as it takes. I don't care how hard it is, as long as it's her in the end, as long as it's Ju Fei Fi. I turned down their advice, and instead of getting annoyed, the viewers got even angrier. They couldn't understand why a guy as devoted as me kept getting played by some terrible woman. For a moment, the whole chat was seething with rage. It even got the attention of the platform moderators. My little stunt also stunned every guest at the wedding. They looked at me with a mix of shock and outright fear. Brother Ming, be honest with me. Are you trying to ruin Ju Fifei and her whole family? Cheng Jin asked, voice shaking after he ended the stream. I didn't get it. Why would he think that? I was being so nice. I just wanted everyone to help convince Ju Fifei to come to her senses and pay me back my money. In that moment, I saw pure admiration in Cheng Jin's eyes. Bro, you're a genius. You know the internet way better than I do. I waved a hand dismissively. It's nothing. No big deal. After Ju Fifei left, I didn't let the wedding venue go to waste. I had the sea decorations taken down and replaced with signs for Cheng Jin's fan meet. The wedding banquet turned into a fan appreciation event. I even sent the MC home and let Cheng Jin put on his own show. As for the fancy wedding cars, I used all of them to shuttle Cheng Jin's fans around. Never underestimate how passionate the fans of a 3 million follower streamer can be. Local fans filled every seat. Some even flew in from neighboring provinces just to be there. Some came for Cheng Jin. The rest came for me. That night, everyone had a great time. Cheng Jin made a killing in gifts and gained hundreds of thousands of new followers. That night, after seeing off the last of the fans, Cheng Jin and I went back to my place. The second we walked in, Cheng Jin threw his arms around me. Bro, from today on, you're my real brother. You're my lucky star, I chuckled. Happy now? Cheng Jin nodded. So happy, great. Since you're so happy, pay up. Pay for what? The banquet, the MC, the luxury car fleet. You think all that was free? Wait, why would I pay for that? Cheng Jin was stunned. That wasn't how this was supposed to go. Why wouldn't you pay? Cut the crap. Fork it over. Even brothers settle their debts. I held out my hand. No nonsense. In the end, I squeezed 200,000 yuan out of Cheng Jin. I smiled in satisfaction at the transfer notification on my phone, completely ignoring the resentful look Cheng Jin was giving me. So I worked my ass off all day for free. Cheng Jin wind. Save it. Like you didn't hit on the bridesmaids. I saw you swapping numbers with like 3 of them. I gave him a sideways look. We went quiet for a while. Brother Ming. Spit it out. What are you gonna do next? We lay on the sofa, each chewing a Lue Duang pill, our mouths working in sync. I knew he meant about Ju Fei. With all the traffic Cheng Jin had brought in, I had no doubt her whole family would be doxxed online by tomorrow. They'd be wearing masks just to go grocery shopping. Wait for them to pay up. What else? I said casually. What if they don't? Cheng Jin popped another big black pill into his mouth. Don't pay? Then I sue. I already got a lawyer lined up. Used to be on Tencent's legendary in-house legal team, famous for never losing a case. Damn, I thought you were just gonna let it go. Why would I let it go? It's my money. I can donate it, spend it, even throw it away if I want. But I'm not letting someone who betrayed me keep it. Brutal, Cheng Jin said, giving me a thumbs up. Jia Fifei held up worse than I expected. She called me in the middle of that same night. I was lying back in a foot massage chair, enjoying the treatment, when I picked up. Hello? Zhou Ming, you're gonna rot in hell. You're heartless. Bad attitude. Hung up. A little while later she called again. Hello? Zhou Ming, I think there's been some misunderstanding between us. Not sincere enough. Hung up. Zhou Ming, you hung up. I lost count of how many times she called. I'm sorry, Zhou Ming. I was wrong. I let you down. There we go, I thought. That's more like it. Cut the crap. Get to the point. I said flatly. We'll pay you back every cent. But can you give us a few more days? It'll take time to sell my brother's house. Please, can you? No. I hung up on her without mercy. Just as cold and quick as she'd said no to me at the wedding. Oh hey, you know Ju Fifei's little brother's girlfriend? I turned to Chung Jin, who was busy making the massage therapist laugh. Yeah, met her. Asked me a few days ago if I'd take her on as a student. Wants to be an influencer like me? Chung Jin said. Then take her on. She begged you so nicely. I said casually. Chung Jin froze. After a long moment he said, voice heavy, Bro, you're brutal. Ju Fifei sued me. 3 days after the wedding, the court delivered a summons. And when I heard the news, I wasn't surprised at all. The incident also sparked a huge, public outcry online. Faced with endless online harassment, the family finally couldn't take it anymore. Unfortunately, as soon as they heard which lawyer I'd hired, every firm turned them down. In the end, an elderly lawyer took pity on them and agreed to represent them in court. The outcome was never in doubt. They lost the case. The court ordered the forced enforcement of their assets. They were ordered to pay me 1 million yuan in compensation. It was a little less than I was owed, but I didn't mind. Rumor has it that over that 1 million, Ju Fifei had a falling out with her family and was thrown out of the house. Because of her, her younger brother couldn't get married, his girlfriend left him, and they lost the house. It was raining that day. With nothing better to do, I invited Chung Jin and a few others to sing at a KTV lounge. The private room door swung open. A familiar figure appeared among the group of girls walking in. Chung Jin and the others stood up on instinct. I frowned, waved a hand at the manager and said, swap them out. Don't bring just anyone in here. The manager bowed repeatedly and hurried the girls out. As they left, I clearly saw tears roll down Ju Fifei's cheeks, half regret, half resentment. This story is about a bride who called off her wedding in public to leave with another man but refused to cover the related expenses. The male lead calmly calculated all costs, drew public attention, and eventually recovered his money through legal channels. It tells us that engagement and marriage involve not only affection but also practical responsibilities. If one chooses to break an agreement, they ought to bear the corresponding consequences. One should not only pursue their own romance while shifting losses onto the other party. Feelings cannot be used to justify evading financial obligations. We should keep the sense of contract when rights are infringed instead of emotional quarrels. Stay rational and make good use of rules and laws to safeguard legitimate interests.